Welcome to Coffee Havoc number 2. So, despite what my prep show said, we're going to do this in reverse order. I'm going to talk about my failed acting career first because I don't really want to dwell too deep on it, but I do want to talk about it because I did spend quite a bit of time the other day making TikToks. I made 3 of them, but my cell phone was doing really stupid shit. So I'm not going to go through my cell phone and pull up the videos from TikTok. We're just going to go ahead and talk about it and get it over with. Alright, so I'm a failed actor. I have been a failed actor for the last 30 plus years. Now, a lot of that shit, I take my responsibility on that because I put all my eggs in one basket instead of going with my gut and trying to go do what I should have done. I chose the bitch way out. And the bitch way out was New Millennium Studios. Alright, if you've been on this channel long enough and been following me from channel Kung Fu Havoc number 1 to Kung Fu Havoc number 2, which means you found me, because I don't have control over Kung Fu Havoc number 1. So we're going to go ahead and state this shit exactly like it's supposed to be stated. New Millennium Studios promised all actors in Virginia, no exceptions, all actors in Virginia, that we wouldn't have to leave. And that we would have work. We would have constant work. And we would be able to make movies and all this other shit. I spent over 2 hours the other day trying to find these motherfucking commercials with Tim Reed and Rick Young. Alright? Now I couldn't find any of these goddamn commercials. 1 second. Let me see if Google can find me a picture of Tim Reed and Rick Young together. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get that picture, but we're going to try. Alright? Can you give me an image of Virginia's Tim Reed and Rick Young because of New Millennium Studios together, like shaking hands? Can I get an image of that, please? Watch, it can't get me shit.
New Millennium Studios, located in Petersburg, Virginia, was a major film production facility founded by actor Tim Reed. While I can't show you an image of Tim Reed and a partner shaking hands, I can confirm the studio was important to Virginia filmmaking.
Uh-huh. So important that I couldn't get a job. Alright, well, I can show y'all a picture of Tim Reed and his wife, but I'm not mad at his wife, I'm mad at him. So, that's Tim Reed for those who have no idea what he looks like. Now let's see if this thing can give me newscaster Rick Young. Can you show me an image of Virginia newscaster Rick Young from CBS News Richmond, now CBS News Charlottesville, Virginia? Perfect. Come on. I'm not mad at Rick Young. It's not his fault, alright? But at the time, they were doing a pro-black shit. So, let's see if this will work. Is there a possibility that you can find a picture of Rick Young and Tim Reed together? Of course it can. Not a one. Let's try it again. Is there a possibility that you can find an actual picture of actor Tim Reed and newscaster Rick Young from Richmond, Virginia, shaking hands on a commercial? It's not going to find it. I don't have that much faith in technology.
Based on available search results, it is unlikely that a public photograph of actor Tim Reed and newscaster Rick Young shaking hands on a specific commercial exists online.
Of course it isn't possible.
While Tim Reed is a famous actor from Norfolk, Virginia, who operated a studio near Petersburg, VA, for nearly 20 years, there are no indexed images or specific records of him appearing in a commercial with former Richmond newscaster Rick Young. Tim Reed's activity. Reed has been heavily involved in Virginia media, particularly at his New Millennium Studios, but no results connect him directly to a partnership with Rick Young. Archived material. Most results for the pair relate to historical radio industry newsletters or general biographies rather than local advertising, and the search results do not include old TV spots or commercials. For old commercials, the best source would likely be the archives of local Richmond television stations, such as WWBT NBC 12, where Reed has recently appeared, or community nostalgia groups on social media. Would you like me to try searching the archives of a specific Richmond television station for you?
Yeah, that would be great. CBS News with Rick Young. That would be awesome if you could find me that image. This is part of what I went through yesterday, or the day I did this shit. Okay, so while there's no public availability of the digital image of actor Tim Reed and newscaster Rick Young shaking hands on the commercial, there is a professional path of Richmond media makes such an appearance highly plausible. Rick Young is spelled R-I-C and spent a significant portion of his career in the news anchor and reporting for Richmond, Virginia, where he is a well-known figure for local television. Tim Reed, a Norfolk, Virginia native, also has been featured in Virginia media and landscaping with Millennium Studios. Yeah, I already know about that because I saw the fucking commercials, and just like the other day, I can't find the goddamn image. Why I can't find the image? Oh, because AI ain't as smart as Linda McMahon said it would be. But anyway, I've showed both of y'all their pictures. Alright, so y'all know what they look like. They had lots of fucking commercials like 6 months before, or a year and 6 months before the fucking studio opened door 1. My dumb ass had the date, had the time. One of them is not exactly right to the story, but I know that we arrived there twice in the same day because we arrived early. They sent us back. We came back on time, which means we still arrived early. And then they told us, this is the most important part. If you don't have an appointment, or if you're not a SAG actor, you're not going to be seen today. And this is the part that pisses me off. Because not one goddamn time when they advertised that shit did they say a damn thing about you having to be a Screen Actors Guild. The commercial, the sell, it's in my head. It's never left my head. So I'm not a lunatic, but the commercial, the sell was really good. The sell pitch was great. Here's the sales pitch. Come one, come all. Actors in Virginia. You don't have to leave now. You don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to Florida. You don't have to go to California. You don't have to go to Atlanta. You don't have to go to North Carolina or wherever the hell Screen Gems was. Because New Millennium Studios is going to be the biggest Hollywood East thing you've ever seen. We're going to do all kinds of acting stuff. Translation. We're going to make Frank's Place, a movie about Carmen Ejogo starring as Sally Hemings and Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, and we're going to do stuff that I want to do versus let's try to make money. Let's hire actors who actually want to act. Nope, none of that shit's happening. We're going to have this thing open, and if you don't have an appointment, and if you're not a SAG actor, you're going to get shipped away. That's that underlying shit that they left off because I got sent away. Shout out to Ron Martin, by the way, because Ron Martin, he's the guy that told me, go film a movie. That movie's on here, by the way. It's called Fallen Dragons. So, hold on. Yeah, it's on here. So, in Fallen Dragons, I play a guy who's a illegitimate bastard son of a Chinese man who married a black and native woman. I have a brother who's a Chinese man who has everything that was played by Adrian Cow. I have a lot of enemies. The movie is not great. I didn't have the resources I needed. I needed 14 people, so it would be a 7-on-7 free-for-all. And that didn't work out. So basically we had 3 bad guys and 4 or 5 good guys, and that was pretty much it. So basically it was 2 main bad guys, which was Josh and was Eric Chen. And Josh was like maybe 13, maybe 14, bigger than me, but you know, he's been in every movie I ever made. So shout out to Jay Diz, Josh Shelton. So it didn't work out, and they sent me a letter that says they don't do kung fu movies, but they never gave me my movie back. Now at the same time, I had sent the movie to Sundance. Sundance also gave me a load of bullshit and a card that says your movie sucks, and we don't do kung fu movies. And within 2 weeks of me getting that back, they had a kung fu movie on from Japan. I don't remember the name of it, but I know it's from Japan. And I sit there and I said, Robert Redford, you lying motherfuckers. Y'all told me y'all don't do kung fu movies, and yet there's a Japanese kung fu movie. Oh, I got it. I'm not Japanese. So that's why you're not going to do a kung fu movie. Fuck the fact that other people know martial arts. Yeah, God rest his in soul. Rest well in heaven, Robert Redford. But as for the rest of Sundance, fuck y'all. I don't care. Know why? Because I could have had a career had y'all gave me a chance. No one gave me a chance. It's Sundance. It's part of the independent channel. He started that movie network and stuff so that actors like me could fucking have a voice. And then basically I got spit in the face. I'm not mad at Sundance or the independent film channel. I'm mad at the fact that no one actually gave me the chance to say, you know what? We can fix this. Let's get together with this man and make a fucking movie. That didn't come to be an option. At least Millennium kept my shit and told me my shit sucked right off the bat. But they told me my shit sucked off the bat and sent me the movie back, and they rubbed that shit in my face by playing a fucking kung fu movie. But worse than that, at the time of all this was happening, we had a serial rapist here in Charlottesville. That guy was 6'4" and 240 pounds. You know who got hemmed up by the ATF agents? Yeah, I'm 5'3", and I was 125 pounds at best soaking wet when this shit happened. I'm also 3 shades lighter than the guy that actually committed the fucking crime, because he literally was a black man darker than me. And in case y'all ain't aware, that's like half my true color. And that light right there is all of my true color. I'm high yellow. There's no way in hell these motherfuckers thought that I was the fucking serial rapist. But hey, it was what it was. I was having a horrible time. Now back to the Millennium thing. Had Tim Reed honored his word, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because the world would know who the fuck I am. Had Tim Reed decided that we're not just going to do this police series, we're not just going to do Frank Place, we're not going to make this historical fucking shit about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, we're going to actually fucking make movies, Millennium Studios would be the hottest commodity now. And Tyler Perry would have to be playing catch up, because he did it first. Tyler Perry did it best, which goes back to my song Believe in Me. And none of my family has reached out to Tyler Perry and said, you know, our uncle, our cousin, our brother has been busting his ass for 30 years and hasn't been seen, yet alone been able to work anything other than his independent films. I might suck. I might not. And give me a role I can actually play, and I'm going to play it the best that ever was. But apparently that's not also an option. But yeah, I wouldn't be a 30-plus year failure if some motherfuckers would have actually did their job. You had the money, you had the resources. He made a video about it, I did comment on it, and, you know, it was about tax cuts and shit. Alright, cool. I get it. You couldn't get people to come in and back and do tax cuts. There's ways around that. You want to hire local actors. You set up a fucking system so that all your actors get paid the same, and you make the movies. You set up the system where you run the network. Have not only your own studio, New Millennium Studios, but you also could have had New Millennium Network. Stream that shit. Streaming services was just taking off. Netflix was just taking off, and you would buy a disc, and they would get mailed to you. And now Netflix is digital, and the streaming services exist, and they started streaming because it was cheaper for them to stream than to keep sending you disc out for 8 damn days, and you sending it back. And if you damage the disc, you got to pay for it. But you can't damage something that's digital that comes from one digital platform to another digital platform. Netflix started the ball. But just think, Tim Reed could have did that. And I wouldn't have been a 30-year failed actor because we could have made movies. See, I'm not a drama guy. I'm never going to be the leading man unless Marvel finds a way to make me shine as Jesse Blackcrow. But when it comes down to like kung fu or science fiction or horror, I'm your motherfucking guy. You know why I'm your guy? Because those are movies that I can't fuck up. I do kung fu. I love horror and I love sci-fi. And you know what they all have in common? A kung fu movie has kung fu in it. A sci-fi movie has kung fu in it. A scary movie has kung fu in it. The fucked up part is that in all those movies, there's one more thing that they have in common. Usually in a scary movie or a science fiction movie, the guy with the kung fu, the baddest motherfucker on the goddamn movie, he bites it in a kung fu fight against aliens. He'll be fighting aliens, boom, 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 ha! Next thing you know, he's dead. And then he'll be fighting the serial killer in a scary movie. And he'll be doing something, he'll fucking make a mistake, and then the serial killer will rip off his arms. And all this shit could have been done. Millennium could have been a fucking gold mine. But somebody didn't want to honor their word. And somebody didn't want to take chances and just fucking make movies. Not that wholesale shit. Make movies. You know the thing that made Roger Corman and them successful, outside the fact that he made weird movies. He made movies. He didn't fuck around, didn't waste time. Yeah, Sergeant Kabuki Man, good shit. Tox Avenger, 3 of those motherfucking movies. Roger Corman Presents. He had dramas because Black Scorpion was a drama. Showtime picked it up and made it into a TV show. Roger Corman knew what the fuck he was doing. Tim Reed could have took notes and did the same shit, and New Millennium Studios would have never fucking collapsed in 2014. Would have never broke. It would have never went broke. But the thing was, somebody didn't want to do proper movies. They just wanted to do wholesome shit. I got ideas. I write all different kinds of genres. This American Kono Each. 2 sisters. They ain't twins. One older, one younger. Their daddy is Japanese. Their mama is Native American. So they're half Native American, half Japanese. They got a big brother who goes to UVA. Their mom's mom and dad, they live in Hawaii. The mom and dad have a nice, beautiful house in Hawaii. But they got to give up living there because they got to go work in Japan for the United States government. What are they doing? They're liaisons officers. They're peacemakers. That's their job. Their job is to keep the peace between American government and Japanese government. And they're partners in that. So not only do they live together, they work together. And they've never gotten sick of each other. They have 3 kids. One kid's on the other side of America, going to the UVA. The kids that's living, the 16 and 17-year-old, they have to go to fucking Japan. They're going to have to graduate over in Japan because the parents are going to be there for a year. The backstory is they're trying to make a space station, but it has to be launched from Japan, but have a base in Japan. Why else would you need a diplomat who's a Japanese man, who's born and raised in America, whose job is to keep the peace between Japan and America? Now, the main story is there's some fucking zombies and some Japanese dude who wants to rule the motherfucking world. That's it. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You're going to have to go by the book. Same thing with Love 13. There's a white man who wants to be immortal, so he has some unposthumous shit done by a Native American man to a dream-walking girl and all kinds of other shit. That book has to be published, but before it can be published, I need $2,000. But I don't want to start a GoFundMe when you can just buy my book. If you buy my book, then that book gets published, and then you can buy that book, which guarantees you will have a book versus you give me a GoFundMe and I got to set the price up to like $6,000 just for me to get 2. No, I'm not going to do that to somebody. Anyway, if we would have just been making movies, we wouldn't have this problem. Nah, I ain't going to make movies. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to make Frank's Place, and I'm going to make a police drama that's only going to get 1 season because you're not thinking outside the box. And before anybody says, well, maybe that's what he could afford. Maybe that's what he could afford. Let me explain this to you. And you take this wherever the hell you want it, and you can take it to Tim Reed. I ain't got nothing but respect for the man, but I'm angry at the motherfucker at the same time. But here's how this works. If you could not afford it, you would not have only been looking for fucking SAG actors. You would have been looking for motherfuckers that want to work for you and work in making movies. Let that be a lesson to everyone who wants to open up a studio. SAG actors cost more. independent guys who can't afford to join SAG, we come loyal. And as long as you pay us our worth, most of us will return until the fucking film is done. And if it's someone like me, you're gonna have to pay me to go to fuck home. You ain't gotta pay me to go wash my ass or anything like that, but you're gonna have to pay me to go home because I wanna be in this business for my fucking life. Like the wrestlers say, I will do this until I cannot. Had I not been told I was too small to be a wrestler, I would have been a wrestler. And now, 20 some odd years later, I find out that I'm not too small to be a wrestler. But now my body doesn't work. It's the same thing that happened when I got into the Army versus going into the UFC. The UFC has been rejecting me since I was 19. Get your weight up. Our smallest guy is 135. I was 121. And now I'm 150 and can't gain no goddamn muscle or lose weight. I got a hip replacement. No one's letting me in that ring. I'm a liability. But just think about back in 1993 when they didn't have fight classes, they wouldn't let me fight. It's like, oh, well, we don't believe you can fight. Motherfucker, how you gonna know if you don't let me fight? Same thing with acting. How you gonna know if you don't give me the fucking job? 30 years, y'all. 30 plus fucking years. 30 plus. Let's go ahead and confirm that so then we can go to the next video. Let me find a calculator. I know this phone's got a calculator. So, Millennium opened in 1997 or 1996, I can't remember. We're going to go with 1996 minus 1973. So, I was 23 in 96, which means I was 24 in 97. Let's see what year Millennium Studio opened up. What year did Millennium Studios open up? God damn it, that's the Millennium Apartments. What year did New Millennium Studios open in Petersburg, Virginia? Gotta be direct sometimes.
New Millennium Studios opened in Petersburg, Virginia in 1997. It was founded by Tim and Daphne Maxwell Reed and operated as a...
Zip it. I just needed the 1997 part. Now we're going to get this calculator back. Alright. So, 97, right? Y'all heard it say 97. 1997 minus 1973. I was 24. I was 24. Got that? 24. Mark it down. Let's see. 52 minus 24 equals 38. 28. So I've been a failed actor for 30 years, basically, because this is 28. So, for 28 years in Virginia, I have struggled. I like to say 30 because I started going on my fucking first casting calls when I was like 21. No. Let's see something. God damn you. What year did Major Payne get filmed in Virginia? 94.
Major Payne was filmed in Virginia in 1994, with some scenes shot at the Miller School in Charlottesville, as well as in Richmond, Goochland, and Ashland. The movie came out in 1995.
Uh-huh. Need I say that in the Miller School scene? Fun fact. I went there. I had hair. The guy told me, God damn it. The guy running the shop said, hey, look, man, if you want to be in this movie, you got to go cut all your hair off. So, okay, my dumb ass went to go cut my hair off. And in the going to cut my hair off, fuck you, Major Payne. I got back, two things happened. My cousin and I, we got back. Russell was like maybe 13. I don't know how old he was, but he was young. And I was young, because it was in 94. So we're going to go on to how old I was in 1994. Come on, motherfucker. 1994 minus 1973. I'm 21. 21. So, let me see. Motherfucker. I hate technology, y'all. That ain't right. So Russell's about 14. Alright? I'm 21, he's 14. Get on the set. So I'm fixing to, try to get this role. Guy told me I had to go cut my hair off, so I went and got my hair cut. Got back to the set, cousin and I pulled up, and the guy says, sorry, and the time you went to go take your hair and get it cut off, we filled all the extras up, so you can't be an extra. So I'm going home, mad as hell. And one of the actual stars of the show, I'm sure the motherfucker don't remember me, white guy, big guy, about 5'8", cut up motherfucker. He said something. And I said, what you say? He said, well, you should have had your hair cut before you got here, or some bullshit, some smart, some white guy, some smart. I said, let me tell you something, buddy. You an actor playing in the military. My family came from the military. I am militarily trained. I will beat your fucking ass up out this bitch. I done done all this shit. I done got my hair cut for nothing. And they're not going to give me this fucking role. How about I rearrange your face? And my cousin Russell just said, come on, James, it's not worth it. Let's just go on home. So I got him a little black Turismo. And I went the fuck on home. I think I had my Turismo. Either I had my Turismo or I had a fucking Ford Fiesta. Hold on. It's either a Fiesta or a Festiva. We're going to find out what the fuck that shit is. Is the Ford car called a Ford Fiesta or a Ford Festiva? Which one did I have? In an image.
The Ford Fiesta and Ford Festiva are different cars. The Fiesta is a long-running global subcompact, launched in 1976, while the Festiva, a smaller model, was produced from 1986 to 2002.
Can I have an image of the Ford Festiva and the Ford Fiesta? Side-by-side comparison, please. Well, that's going to be a problem. Well, you going to give me the perfect image or not? Alright, so I had this kind of thing, I believe, because I wasn't in high school anymore. Okay. So I guess this is it. I didn't have that one. I had this one. 93 version. That looks more like it. I had one that looked more like the red one, not that one. But anyway, why can't I find one that's like perfectly side by side? I hate technology. Excuse me. Why is they not gonna show anyone side by side? What the fuck? Well, anyway, I had a Festiva. Whichever one they said came out in the 90s or the 80s. So, yeah, I had a Ford Festiva. I think. You know what? I had the smaller one. I hate technology. But anyway, I gotta get ready to go get these kids off the bus. But yeah. Gonna show the other picture of the other vehicle, please? Why ain't they showing the one I had? Anyway, long story short, my cousin and I, we went home. And every other casting call I've been through, I've had the same issue where I go in with hair and they wouldn't see me. I cut my hair off and they would barely recognize me, but all ended the same. You're not a bad looking man, Mr. Williams, but you're not what we're looking for. 30 years. I recently started coming out as Echo Fang Grey Wolf because it's the only thing that's gonna at least get them to look for me, even if they don't see me. Anyway, the next video will be about the war and stuff, but that's gonna have to happen after I get the kids off the bus. Thank you for watching. I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Having number 2. Be seeing ya.